So if you're not an AI nerd and you want to know why is everybody talking about China's DeepSeek this morning, watch this video.
People feel kind of bamboozled. They're like, wait a minute. We paid all this money to invest in ChatGPT, but here we go with DeepSeek. It's doing essentially the same exact thing, and it's running it for less money.
It just hit #1 in the App Store. Mark Andreessen is calling it one of the most impressive breakthroughs he's ever seen. So there's so much hype around this.
Sam Altman and OpenAI literally asked for trillions of dollars of funding to build artificial superintelligence, and nobody batted an eye. Meanwhile, a small group of Chinese developers develops DeepSeek, all while operating under US restrictions on chipsets and GPUs.
So DeepSeek apparently was hit with a massive cyber attack. Who will target such a brand new startup, you might ask?
But what you're saying is that the shared screen is meant to give you context through me describing what's on my screen. But can't I just describe what's on my screen without sharing the screen?
Today we'll be watching some video about DeepSeek R1, a free and open source AI model that's been making waves in the AI and tech scene. And yes, it definitely cooked the GPT and shook the USA. Let's watch.
I think what's happening in the AI community with DeepSeek is a very poignant example of rampant hypercapitalism in America. Sam Altman and OpenAI literally asked for trillions of dollars of funding to build artificial superintelligence, and nobody batted an eye. Meanwhile, a small group of Chinese developers developed DeepSeek, all while operating under US restrictions on chipsets and GPUs. Then they published all their papers, made everything open source, and found that they were outperforming anything ChatGPT or OpenAI has ever made. What this has basically done is completely exposed Silicon Valley capitalists for what they are. They are rampantly inflating the value of Gen AI for no reason at all. Sam Altman's supercar costs more than what the DeepSeek model costed to train. It's happening right now in AI and big tech, but is prevalent in almost any industry in the West. Big pharma, healthcare, defense. We in the bad place, bro. I hope China keeps shitting on us.
DeepSeek may have literally just saved humanity. By making their powerful AI models free and open source, they stopped any one company from monopolizing AI and controlling the entire world. It's clear some companies were trying to. The CEO of ChatGPT's parent company was so cocky and confident about winning the AI race and owning everything that he was openly bragging about changing the entire structure of society and modifying the social contract. But now that DeepSeek has made more powerful models than ChatGPT available to the public for free and open source, they can't talk about changing the entire structure of society anymore. It's like DeepSeek put power in the hands of the people. Over the past few months, we've seen OpenAI go to closed AI and go from a nonprofit to for-profit, clearly attempting to hoard all of their so-called discoveries for themselves and gain as much power as they possibly could. DeepSeek democratizing their powerful AI algorithms for free has destroyed OpenAI's dystopian dreams. It has also exposed OpenAI as a bunch of hypocrites. They claim that they wanted to help humanity while charging $200 a month and keeping their models closed source. DeepSeek has done none of that. By making their powerful models available for free, they may have just saved humanity. OpenAI for being complete hypocrites about your actual mission and for trying to restructure all of human society. You've just made the D3 list, a podcast about dumb, desperate, and diabolical business decisions.
So DeepSeek apparently was hit with a massive cyber attack. Who will target such a brand new startup, you might ask? Great question. Just think, who was panicking and who will benefit the most? I would say this is super pathetic, laughable almost. You can't beat them head on, so you're just gonna stand in shades and launch attack? I would tell you, you would never startle Chinese from innovation, from making an app that's free for all and open sourced. Good luck and a happy Chinese New Year to my fellow Chinese. Have a great year of a snake.
Feel free to ask.
Hi, I see you have a shared screen option. How do I use this? How can you use this?
You can describe what's on your screen or the issue you're facing, and I'll do my best to assist based on that.
I don't understand. What is the purpose of the share screen option?
The share screen option helps me understand the context of your problem better. Though I can't see your screen, you can describe what's happening, and I'll assist based on that.
Sorry, if you can't see the screen, how do you understand the context of what's on my phone better if you can't see what's on my phone?
I rely on what you describe to understand the context. Just let me know what you're seeing, and I'll do my best to assist.
So what you're saying is that the shared screen is meant to give you context through me describing what's on my screen. But can't I just describe what's on my screen without sharing the screen?
Exactly. You can describe what's on your screen without sharing it.
Hold on. Are you telling me that there is no purpose to your shared screen capability?
The share screen feature can help you explain what's on your screen. You can still describe it directly, and I'll help it as best as I can.
Sorry, I don't understand how the shared screen helps me describe something. For the shared screen, I can see what's on my screen even when I don't share my screen.
The share screen option is generally to assist users in providing context. If you're comfortable just describing what you see, that's totally fine. Feel free to do what works best for you.
Bro, I don't think you understand.
I'm here to help. Let me know what's on your mind or how I can assist you.
GPT is cooked.
So everybody's talking about DeepSeek AI, and the reason why is because it's comparable to ChatGPT. ChatGPT takes about $700,000 a day to run. $700,000 a day, okay? First of all, DeepSeek was like unintentional. The whole idea of it wasn't even for it to get this far, but it did. It only cost $6 million to start it, and it's totally free. Unlike ChatGPT, where there's people paying $200 a month to use ChatGPT. I didn't even know they were charging that much. Then it's open source. Open source means that they're not hiding any of the codes or any of the technology that they use to create the AI and to run the chat, which means that if enough people, essentially, like hypothetically speaking, if enough people got $6 million together, they could create their own DeepSeek version of a ChatGPT AI because they're not hiding the codes. Unlike ChatGPT, where they're charging billions, literally billions of dollars to say we're the only people who know how to do this and we're the only people who know how to code this AI. And in order for us to run it, we need this amount of money. I think it was like $540 million to start ChatGPT. And now it's plummeted to stock market because people feel kind of bamboozled. They're like, wait a minute, we paid all this money to invest in ChatGPT. But here we go with DeepSeek. It's doing essentially the same exact thing, and it's running it for less money because it's only using the essential information in order to run in the ChatGPT. We've paid you guys this amount of money to invest in this. And we have another competitor that's doing the exact same thing for less money. It plummeted the stock market. People are pulling out of it. They're pulling out of NVIDIA, which is one of the tech companies that help to start ChatGPT, because it's just like, what are y'all doing with our money? What are you doing with it? So now DeepSeek AI, like I said, is open source. This is going to cause like a rippling effect of other people who are trained to know how to essentially do the coding that comes with ChatGPT to make their own. So we're just going to have like a bunch of people creating their own ChatGPT, and it's going to pretty much put ChatGPT out of business. Like, it's crazy. I love it. I absolutely love it. Stick it to the man. There you go.
So everyone seems to be freaking out over DeepSeek's release of their latest R1 model, which dropped last week. It just hit #1 in the App Store. Mark Andreessen is calling it one of the most impressive breakthroughs he's ever seen. So there's so much hype around this. I figured I'd try to make this video to break down what I've been learning so far. So DeepSeek is a startup in China that just released an AI model that can reason at the same level of OpenAI's best model, O1. They reportedly did it at a fraction of the cost. So while OpenAI spent over $100 million to train GPT-4, but DeepSeek built their model for less than 6 million. So how exactly did they achieve this level of efficiency? Most AI labs, including OpenAI, Anthropic, typically rely on large-scale data sets and techniques like reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF, I'm just learning this, to refine an AI's capabilities. These methods often involve multiple stages of like data curation and human feedback, which make the training process super resource intensive. But DeepSeek took a totally different approach. They used reinforcement learning, where the AI is learning primarily through trial and error, and so there's minimal human oversight through this process. This method is called Group Relative Policy Optimization, GRPO, which rewards the model for correct problem-solving behavior, and it allows it to build up its own reasoning process without the typical overhead of like these massive data sets or extensive human labeling. Now, what's pretty incredible about this approach is that the AI seemed to develop like sophisticated reasoning abilities on its own. It started double checking its own work, spending more time on harder problems, and even having its own aha moments where it would stop and revise its thinking, behaviors that were never explicitly programmed. So what's very exciting about all of this is that these behaviors point to genuine emergent reasoning that AI researchers have been pursuing for a very long time. I think the timing of all of this also adds a whole other layer to the story. So right when the US is placing sanctions on advanced AI chips to limit China's access to this technology, DeepSeek releases their model and shows what's possible with limited resources. And then they also made it all open source so anyone can use it and build on the algorithm. The release of DeepSeek's R1 definitely is a challenge to the OpenAIs and Anthropics of the world. It also seems like we're going to see AI development accelerate in ways that we didn't expect, because when you can build powerful AI models with a lot less compute and make them openly available, it breaks down a bunch of the barriers that have kept this technology just in the hands of these large players. I'm still learning about all of this, but figured I should try to summarize what I've been seeing about this whole discourse. Over the next 30 days, I'm going to be sharing more about AI, mostly like tips and stuff, but I guess I can share a little bit about the news as well. So if you're interested in learning more, be sure to follow along.
DeepSeek may have violated OpenAI's terms of service to train R1, as suggested by David Sachs. Italy has filed a privacy complaint against DeepSeek, suggesting they may have violated GDPR. And third, the US Navy bans access to DeepSeek. In an interview on Fox, David Sachs, our AI czar in the US, made a statement saying that Microsoft has substantial evidence that DeepSeek may have, in his words, distilled knowledge from GPT as a means of training R1. And this would almost certainly have violated the terms of service from OpenAI. And he equated it to theft, intellectual property theft. Hey, buddy, what's up? In a recent post, I talked about DeepSeek R1's release as an example of compound innovation. Basically, people working in the industry building on top of each other's work. If this ends up being true, this GPT terms violation, that would actually be a significantly more direct example of compound innovation than I was even expecting. Really, what I meant by that is the accumulation of knowledge and tools probably aided the DeepSeek team in their development of R1. But if they were actually using GPT directly and kind of distilling knowledge from GPT as a means of much more efficiently training their own model, that's about as compound of innovation as you can get right there. So in Italy, they have filed a complaint that DeepSeek is violating GDPR. There's a lot of concerns around DeepSeek using the app and them storing the data that's flowing through the application in China and subsequent privacy concerns. So Italy has said this puts up to 20 million Italian citizens' privacy at risk. I expect we're going to see a lot more of that type of activity around DeepSeek. Not the open source model. You can run that wherever you want, and that should be fine. But if you're using DeepSeek's application that's hosted in China, just know your data is probably being stored in China. And lastly, U.S. Navy banning DeepSeek. Similar story. Of course, the U.S. military is going to be hyper cautious around data leaking out to China. And I mean, I would anticipate the federal government to ban access to DeepSeek if they haven't already done it. They're probably in the process of doing that. So a lot of privacy concerns kind of emerging around DeepSeek. Really interesting stuff. I'm going to keep posting about some of these stories that are unfolding. It's moving pretty fast.
All right, that's it for my reaction to DeepSeek R1. What do you guys think? Is this AI the real deal? Is it going to revolutionize the AI landscape, or is it just another hyped-up model? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take on this. And don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more AI content, tech news, and other interesting stuff. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace out.